Jennie Caldito. I'm an interior decorator from Munich, Germany. I am currently studying to design homes that can help families reduce stress and support their well-being. I was part of the fall cohort of the Habitarmonia Biophilic Design certification program in 2025. This is an in-depth program that weaves regenerative design, sustainability, and environmental psychology into a practical, heart-led approach to creating spaces that support human well-being and reconnect us with nature. It combines theory, embodiment practices, and real projects to help professional design environments that help nourish, restore, and help us feel alive. I came to the program to learn how to incorporate nature in my projects. I left with a completely different relationship to design, to space, and to my own nature. What I received was not just a course, but a 12-week journey that felt like being gently rooted branch by branch into a living ecosystem of people, practices, and ideas. From the very first session, it was clear that this program is carefully crafted as whole system learning, design psychology, somatic wisdom, and regenerative design were woven together in a way that always returned to one simple question: how can this space help humans and nature feel more alive, more connected to nature, our nature? Each week, layered with theory, embodiment meditations, nature-based exercises, sensory explorations, and reflections that moved the content from my head into my body. I didn't just learn patterns of biophilic design and theories. I felt what safety, softness, refuge, and prospect are in my own nervous system, and how to translate that into spaces, into place. The content itself bridged the poetic and the practical. We moved from the roots, our own values, memories of nature, and body-based awareness to the trunk of guiding philosophies, and then into branches of concrete tools and methods, sensory mapping, spatial assessments, emotional design frameworks, and nature-inspired rituals all became part of a toolkit I have learned to reach for instinctively in my practice. I learned how to read sight, not only through plans and sections, but through the senses, climate rhythms, the subtle cues of land and light, how to design spaces that regulate stress, invite calm and focus, and gently reconnect people with the living world around them, and all throughout doing so with the health of the planet in mind. The structure of the course held me beautifully. For a person who is transitioning from the geosciences into the world of design, the live mentoring sessions became one of the anchors of my week. It was a place where I could show my work in progress, receive grounded, thorough, and thoughtful feedback, and learn just as much from others' progress as from my own. The workload was rich but purposeful. Every assignment fed directly into the final project, so nothing felt like homework for homework's sake, but rather steps in a meaningful biophilic narrative I was slowly weaving. What moved me most was the way our teachers, Nuria and Dominique, held the group. They did not stand above us or stand as distant experts, but they stood beside us as guides, as witnesses, as co-explorers. Their depth of knowledge in biophilic design, well-being design, and systems thinking and communication was evident. But it was their humanity, their humility that made the learning more concretely land. The way they listened, reflected, and invited our stories into the conversation. I felt seen not just as a student, but as a whole person with a unique design voice, cultural background, and emotional landscape. And the most unexpected gift was the community, sharing a virtual room with co-learners from diverse backgrounds. We were designers, therapists, artists, landscape architect, real estate agent, and other professionals from around the world, all committed to designing for well-being. Gave me a profound sense of belonging. Between sessions, the lovely conversations in our cohort and shared resources made me feel continuously supported. I was never alone in my questions. Our conversations went beyond aesthetics or trends. Together with Nuria and Dominic, we all created a space where vulnerability was welcome. I may have shared my life much more than I ever thought I could, and they gave me that space to be braver, a space where doubts, fears, and big questions about purpose and impact and life in general could sit next to technical discussions about materials, light, and sensory journeys. And yes, we celebrated our wins together. By the end, I didn't just gain colleagues. I gained a circle of friends who speak the same language of care, regeneration, and reciprocity. And this I carry in my heart forever. This course has changed the way I enter any space. I find myself noticing how my body responds, my breathing, my pulse, my sense of ease, and then asking, what would nature do here? In my evolving interior decoration practice, I now have both the evidence and the embodied understanding to advocate for biophilic, human-centered, and planet-centered decisions with confidence. Clients will no longer hear me saying it will be nice to have greenery, but will feel the narrative of spaces that support a deeper connection to nature while fostering mental health and emotional resilience. So if you are a designer, architect, therapist, or space holder who feels that something essential has been missing from your work, a layer of depth, maybe meaning, genuine connection to nature, this certification program is a powerful doorway. It asks you to show up with your mind, with your heart and your body, and in return it gives you a language, a community, and a set of tools to design spaces that truly breathe. I would wholeheartedly recommend Habitarmonia Academy's Biophilic Design journey to anyone ready to step beyond beautiful and begin designing for wholeness.